Totally not jumping on a bandwagon here, but I doubt anyone's talking about this game anyways, but I wanted to give my 2 cents on this game since it's such a unique new IP coming from Nintendo. So the ARMS Global Testpunch, I see what you did there, champ, is going on right now, and that's allowed all of us who weren't lucky enough to play the game at a preview event to finally try out this bizarre fighting game for ourselves. And honestly, the TLDR version, I'm really liking this game. But it's definitely far from perfect based on what we're able to play in this demo. When this game was first revealed back in the January Switch event, I was really skeptical on the game because, well, the controls made it look like Wii Boxing 2, and I'm not gonna lie, the kick-ass trailer music was really the only thing that sold me on the game. Don't get me wrong, the reveal trailer did a perfect job of illustrating what the game is all about, but it just didn't really show that the game had any depth beyond the 1v1 fighting. But after a couple of really solid Nintendo Directs on the game, I can definitely say I'm sold on the game, especially after the Global Testpunch. This was an amazing move on Nintendo's part, in my opinion, to put on this demo, especially since Splatoon's Global Testfire sold so many people who were on the fence about the game. But unlike Splatoon's demo, which sold me immediately on the game, ARMS actually took me quite a while to fully understand and be sold on. You see, Splatoon had a very simple concept that was very easy to understand. It's a third-person shooter where you try and cover more turf with your ink than your opponents. We all understood the concept, but it was just a matter of knowing if the actual concept would be fun to play, which it definitely was for me at least, with Splatoon being my favorite Wii U game of all time now. ARMS was different, and for me it was in the controls since it relied so heavily on motion. Which, as we all probably know at this point, motion controls can either be a hit or miss, there's never really an in-between. Basically, the Direct sold me on the content and gameplay of ARMS, but no Direct could ever really sell me on motion controls unless I was able to actually try them myself, which is why I feel like the Global Testpunch was the smartest move Nintendo could have made with this game. I guarantee you if they wouldn't have done this demo, come launch day, the sales would have been at least half of what they are going to be now due to the undecided people put off by the control scheme. And not to mention the fact that new IPs are super hard to push on people. Just look at Wonderful 101. An amazing game, but since it's a new IP that people don't really know if they can trust or not, they'd rather not take the risk. But demos like this allow people to know what they're getting into ahead of time, and make shelling out $60 for a completely new IP a lot easier. But onto the actual game itself, in the demo you're only allowed to play one mode, which is the game's party mode, which is set up beautifully in my opinion. It allows for multiple battles to take place at once, so there's never really any waiting around to play in a lobby like with other fighting games. The first time I played, I tried the motion controls to see why Nintendo is pushing them as much as they are, and honestly, I wasn't impressed at first. I thought they were awkward to use and just unresponsive at times, especially for a fighting game that requires you to sometimes be very precise with your inputs to stay on top of your opponents. I love the characters, stages, diverse collection of arms, honestly pretty much everything else but the motion controls. I'd even really like the traditional button controls in all honesty. But I was willing to give the game another chance during the second session of the Global Testpunch, which also, why are these only hour sessions still? Why? So I woke my lazy ass up at 7 AM to give the game another try, and well, surprisingly, the controls just clicked this time. I started to really understand how the motion controls worked and how the game's mechanics worked in general, and honestly, I had a really fun time. Like, I don't think I won a single match during my first session with ARMS, but when I was able to pick up the game again, I was actually winning matches. I was having a lot of fun with the game. Which is a reason why I'm really disappointed by the hour time limit with this demo. I don't feel like you can actually get a proper feel for all the game's mechanics on top of the motion controls in just a single hour session. And I'm impressed by just how much depth there actually is to the combat in this game. I can definitely see there being a thriving competitive scene for this game if Nintendo handles the online right. Which, from what I played, the online is honestly the most stable and functional online system I've seen for a Nintendo game. I rarely ran into any lag at all, and while I did get a few disconnects, they were always my opponent disconnecting and not me, which makes me think the problem was their network connection and wasn't the game's fault. But yeah, before I end up making this video too long, ARMS is a really solid fighting game that you definitely shouldn't pass off. Whether you're playing with the motion controls or the traditional button controls, you're bound to have a fun time. I'll link my Switch friend code in the description so we can all play once the game is finally released, and please let me know what you think of ARMS so far. Do you plan on getting the game? Let me know because I'm actually really interested to read your responses. But yeah, hope you enjoyed hearing my ramblings on ARMS though. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.